Hi, y'all doing? This is Christina Talley, the trans geek girl, and I'm here with a whole slew of people tonight. First, let's do some introductions. First up, in the top corner, we have host of Breaking the Fourth Wall and CEO of Realm of the Mist, Chris Wylde, a.k.a. Chris Stovall.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the greatest damn movie review show ever. I'm sorry, I can't do John Campia no more. Screw that guy. He left Collider. What's up, guys?
Next to him, we have the DM and host of Gaming XP and another host of Breaking the Fourth Wall, Matthew Cruz.
What's up, people? How we doing?
Next to Matt Cruz, we have author of the Song of Souls trilogy and also panelist on Breaking the Fourth Wall, host on Breaking the Fourth Wall, we want to call it, Christen Stovall.
Hey everybody, how you going? How's it? I can't talk. Never mind.
He's the writer, guys.
The writer, not the talker.
Exactly. I write and then I send it to an editor.
There we go. Okay, and next up we have Sith Lord 310, Mario Hernandez.
Hi guys, happy to be here.
And next to Mario, we have Star Wars Canon Library and Breaking the Fourth Wall, Brian Miller.
How you doing?
Wow.
He's also got War of the Stars. Hey,
and War of the Stars as well. Well,
Mario in it. We got to throw that in there.
And myself
that's
as well.
That's our highest rated show right now. Got to give it to him.
This is true. So anyway, tonight's topic, the reason I have a full panel tonight is that what we are discussing, what we are planning to discuss is geek culture and the effects on popular culture, and why is it so popular right now? So
wait a minute, that's the subject matter? I thought we were going to talk about why, if your knees bent the other way, what a chair would look like. I'm out of here.
If your knees bend that way, it'd be a whole different show.
It's like corralling cats in here.
Aren't you glad you have all of us here today?
Yeah, right? What was I thinking? So, we're going to start this off. I'm going to start with Matt.
I never thought of that.
Yes, honey. Brian is slightly broken.
All right, well, whatever.
Oh my
god! Wow. Okay, so Matt.
Yeah.
Why do you think that the appropriation of our geek culture, which we've grown up with, has actually grown into the popular culture stream, and how is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I think it's been building for a while, and we've been around a while. It's kind of had an ebb and flow, but it seems like it's here to stay, which is kind of cool in its own way. But it's kind of losing its luster for me. It's like we were the outsiders for the longest of times and wanted to be accepted by just everyone, just to be accepted for who we are. And now we've got a ton of overexposure, and a lot of people are claiming, "Oh, I've been a geek since the beginning. I read these books. I read these comic books. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, please, internet subscribers, chill. We bought the comic books. We hid them from everyone. We kept it in our own private collection, and we kept it to ourselves for years. We knew these stories before they were ever even thought of to be movies. We talked about them becoming movies and TV shows when we were kids, and now it's kind of there, and we're happy about it. We're coming into a renaissance with all these movies coming out, and it's awesome, but it's also kind of sad because we got these guys and girls who coming in and trying to act like who are the biggest posers you've ever seen in your life. And I'm sorry if I'm a little tame because my son's asleep in the other room, but you've got it. We're kind of looking at it, and it's kind of almost insulting to us because we were there first. You can't claim our stuff, and don't get me even started on the Big Bang Theory because that's a glorified fantasy if ever I've seen one. I'm sorry, a bunch of nerds.
How do they afford that apartment?
Exactly. Well, that's what Sheldon's for.
I love the Big Bang Theory. I'm sorry.
I do too.
It's a bit of a slap in the face because you got these four nerdy guys, and they got the hottest chicks you've ever seen under the sunlight chasing them, and I'm like, huh? I know there's chicks out there that are into brainy guys, but they don't look like that. So anybody else can take away from here. I probably insulted like half our subscribers.
No, okay. So the best example I can think of, yes, the best example I can think of what Matt was saying is last year. I don't think I've ever seen so many girls saying, "Oh my God, I loved Harley Quinn since the beginning. I've read all of her comic books. I just want to dress up as her." Like, no, you haven't. Like, seriously.
It's okay.
Like,
you can curse. It's fine.
No, you fucking haven't. Like, because, like, no.
Like, oh my God, I'm such a gamer. I play PS4 all the time.
No, oh my God, I'm such a gamer. I play Clash of Clans.
You might have found my rant because when I was a kid, no, hear me the fuck out. When I was a kid, I was with that. I was hiding my comic books. I was bullied mercilessly because of what I liked, Star Wars and all these comic books. Even girls. Like, I'll admit it, I was picked up by girls because of what I liked. All right, I didn't touch a boob until I was 17. Like, no
girls talk to you.
And like, it wasn't. And then the same girls, we all grew up. We're all, bygones be bygones. We're friends on Facebook. Then, like, Suicide Squad comes out, and these same girls are, like, posing at Halloween dressed as Harley from Suicide Squad, going, "Oh my God, I love Harley Quinn. She's the coolest. Like, I want to love like Harley and Joker." No, you fucking don't. Like, are you shitting me?
No.
Are you fucking serious? Like, fuck.
Mario, what's your
You have no
feeling?
feelings on that at all.
Other than that, I have no opinion.
Wow, I think someone's trying to take my crown tonight.
Oh.
I think you just did.
Okay, how do I follow that up?
I'm physically shaking, guys.
Better you than me.
Yes, let the hate flow.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, excellent.
All right, Mario, what were you gonna say?
Okay, I grew up obviously in a different time period than you guys did. So I mean, when I grew up with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and I grew up kind of in the beginning of the superhero age, you could call it. But I was there to see, when the spark, I think, really happened was around the Dark Knight movie, 2008, I believe, and the Avengers. During that time period, I think, to me, is when it actually hit off and it went straight into the mainstream. Everyone, I mean, if you talk to anyone, mostly everyone has seen the first Avengers movie, even if they don't like superheroes. And I think that slowly started to bring people into this fold. And then, I mean, it's everywhere now, literally everywhere. You can go to like any store, you can pick up something of superheroes or Star Wars or anything geeky. And, like to Brian and Matt's point, it's difficult, because to the people who have been there from the start, have actually grown up with this stuff and actually like it from the source material from the beginning, it's irritating, because these people come and claim to have loved this thing this whole time when they haven't. And like Matt said, they're posers. So people come say, "Oh, I've loved this character since this time," and all this, but they haven't.
It's like Justin Bieber singing Latin music.
Oh God!
Oh,
Don't.
you had to
I mean, here's the thing
like
as well.
him when he's angry.
Hey, here's the thing as well. I mean, that's the problem.
Awesome
Like, we
reference.
have a lot of these posers that are coming in and just said, "Oh yeah, I like this all along." And it's not just geek culture too. We'll get into it. It's also music as well. Like, for example, Chris, I pose this to you as well. How do you feel about someone like Justin Bieber showing up on Ellen, of all places, wearing a Damage Inc. shirt, for example?
Metallica's Damage Inc.
Yes.
Boy, you never even heard of the freaking song.
He has worn Metallica shirts several times. He has worn he's worn Pink Floyd shirts, Slayer patches. How does that make you feel, Chris?
It pisses me off as somebody who wrote and performed hard rock and heavy metal and has grown up with these bands. Like, the way I was going to start this rant originally, and it's my turn, because music is source. It's my turn. I was going to start this rant staying within the movie pop culture. I was going to say, playing off of Mario's thing about, like, Star Wars and comic book stuff is everywhere now. I was going to say, I'm one of those people that, I grew up in Darth Vader underoos. I wear Darth Vader boxers now, and I'm looking forward to the day I put on the Darth Vader adult diapers. Okay? I'm Star Wars for life. And it really pisses me off with these trendy people. Now let's get into the music. These wannabe fake-ass supposed artists who want to sit there and pretend that they even have an ounce of the fucking talent of these musicians. I wish I had a tenth of the talent of Metallica or Slayer or Ozzy, because I'd have a fucking record deal, okay? And I'd be making $1 billion fucking dollars, and this channel would be a hell of a lot bigger because I put in the time, effort, and money rather than these little fucking cookie cutter bullshit performers with every song that sounds the goddamn same, sporting shit to try to gain popularity because it's popular to wear a Metallica or an Avenged Sevenfold shirt. Ozzy's the man, even though I've never once heard any of his fucking songs except for maybe a Busta Rhymes remix of Iron Man. It was really cool as a backdrop song. Fuck you. You don't even know how to play a goddamn instrument. You don't know how to write a song. You don't know how to rap without auto-tune. If you can't speak in rhyme without auto-tune, you have no business being a musician. If you can't talk without auto-tune. See, I'm talking right now. I don't have fucking auto-tune. If my voice cracks, tough shit. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck your culture. Fuck everything about your bullshit. Metal for life. And Gene Simmons, fuck you.
All right, Christen, now it's time for your question. Here.
Okay.
Here we
Siva,
go.
you
Round number 3.
you are a fantasy author. So what do you feel about these people now coming into the fold recently, but then claiming things like, oh, I've loved fantasy all along. We've realized the only movie they've seen is something along the lines of, like, you know, just seeing like the Lord of the Rings trilogy or Hobbits, like or Harry Potter. However, they're now claiming they're like huge like fantasy fans.
It's really aggravating, and I am gonna go back a little bit because I think that's when this actually started, is when you had Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter start making their comeback. I mean, Lord of the Rings is old, and Harry Potter, the books were really popular, but then you had the movies, and suddenly it started to become really, really cool. And the people who used to pick on you and ostracize you now, oh, I'm so into that stuff, I'm so into it. And it's like, no, because when I was into it and in high school, and you guys were all in your little group talking about your Nikes or whatever, and I was over there by myself and you guys were laughing at me because I was looking at Lord of the Rings or all of this, I'm pretty sure you weren't into it. It's really frustrating. And then, like, they go to places that sell, like, the pop culture stuff and, like, the Geek t-shirts and everything, and they just get these mass-produced cheesy things, and it's like, do you even know, like, the history of that character? Do you know where they came from? Do you know that this happened in the book and not in the movie? Do you actually know that there are books? Do you possess the books that don't have the movie covers on them? Because unless you do, you weren't always a fan.
I have
you
paperbacks.
can even delve deeper.
I would actually
You can
say
delve
I have
even deeper,
paperbacks
like-
from like 20 years ago of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The old
So
old paperbacks, which were yellow, blue, and green.
Yep.
So in other words, we're all in agreement. Posers, go back to doing what you were doing. Get
Yes.
out of our world.
Yeah, go back to sucking your sports team off you like so much. Stop stealing our stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
so-
I'll give the opposite end of the coin. I will give the opposite end of the coin as far as the what you just called posers. Okay, like the people that came in during Game of Thrones into the fantasy genre, the people that came into the DC universe because of Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Flash, whatever. The Marvel fans that came in during the era of the Avengers and what was that, Wave 3 of Marvel, I believe it was.
No,
You know,
that was
and
phase
two.
1. No, that was
phase 1 and phase 2.
yeah.
okay, phase
Yeah.
1 and I thought phase 1 was Iron Man 1.
It was
No, actually, phase 1 was Iron Man.
through
the event-
Avengers.
Yeah, to Avengers the first
And
movie,
then phase 2 was
Shi-
Iron Man 3
and the Agents of Shield.
Ant-Man, through Ant-Man. Because
Okay.
Ant-Man came out after
I thought
Age
it
of
was up
Ultron.
to Civil War.
Civil War's phase 3.
Okay.
Yeah, Civil War's
Yeah.
phase 3 and Netflix and everything else too.
Yeah, that's all phase 3.
Okay.
Right.
Actually, no,
And-
phase.
Anyway.
Well, anyway,
yeah.
go ahead.
And of course the Star Wars, the people that came in prequel trilogy era, or people that came in this new trilogy era.
Yeah.
I'm fine with you. I don't like you turning around. I don't like you turning around and trying to, I've always been there. No, you fucking haven't. Let's be
Right.
real. I'm 40 fucking years old. I was 5 months old when episode 4 came out in Star Wars, okay? I was alive when the original Spider-Man TV movie was out. the really bad one. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched the original Star Trek and the original Batman syndicated reruns on a black and white TV that I had to get up and turn the fucking knob to change the channel with, having aluminum foil on the rabbit ears. Okay, I'm that old. I can claim that fame.
Are you gonna start telling us that you used to have to walk to school every day in snow?
Uphill both ways.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with the new fans, and there has been a great influx of new fans. It's the people who claim that they've always been fans, but picked on the people who were fans back in the day. Those are the posers, and those are the ones I have the problem with, because in a year, when something else is the cool thing, that's what they'll be into, and they'll go back to picking on the people who are still into it because they're into whatever that particular genre is and not just whatever the trend is.
Exactly the point of that, too.
That's where I was going with that. If I could just finish the point real quick,
Yeah.
was that even though I don't care for them, like, you know, jumping on the trends and bandwagons and everything else, unfortunately, the byproduct of it that is a good thing for us as true fans is that it put in the monies that produces out the stuff that we're getting now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the stuff. Think about it. The Avengers wouldn't exist if pop culture and geek culture didn't grow. You know, the new Spider-Man, Star Wars saga would not be happening if the fan base didn't grow.
Yep.
I actually agree with that, though. I mean, it's a double-edged sword any way you look at it, and that's the problem because, yes, there are positives. We have new Star Wars movies coming out. We have a really just viciously awesome MCU going right now. It's even with DCU, it's going really well as well on their the Netflix series and everything
it's
else.
starting to turn around, yeah.
Exactly. So with Wonder Woman coming out, it's really turning around.
It is.
I mean, what I was going to get to before is when you were talking about the posers last year when Pokemon Go came out. Matt, you remember this?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah. Oh, here we go.
Everyone started playing. Like, the game blew up overnight, and people walking around never picked up a Game Boy a day in their life. I remember playing the original Game Boy with no backlighting, sitting there trying to play it in the car.
With a link cable going to another one.
Yes, exactly. But every time the
yeah.
only light you get was when the traffic lights would go by.
Yep.
Or like street lights. That was it.
Yep.
And these people, I love Pokemon, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really?
5 Pokemon other than Pikachu, Squirtle, or Charmander. Go.
You want me to?
Seriously. No, I'm just saying. Like, those people.
So I was like, I can do that.
I can do that easily.
See, playing off what Christina said, nobody understands the frustration of using those Game Boys or Game Boy Colors, and you're getting into your Pokemon game, or for me, it was like Final Fantasy or Zelda. You're sitting there,
yeah.
you're playing them, and all of a sudden your AA batteries die, and there is no fucking warning on that
And the
goddamn
screen. And the
It's
screen
like,
just goes
yeah.
in those lines and fades, and you're like,
Yeah.
no!
Yeah.
Another-
I had
another-
a Return of the Jedi Game Boy game, and it was the hardest Game Boy game I've ever played.
Another example of that is like Nintendo releasing these classic consoles now. These like little digital ones.
Yeah.
Like I've got one of the. I was lucky enough to get the NES, the digital NES. I was lucky enough to get one. I mean, by the wills of the gods, I got one. And now this year they're coming out with a Super Nintendo version of it.
Oh god, I'm so looking forward to that.
I am too.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I've got a bet going with a buddy right now that I'm gonna find one before he does. But anyway, like, but there are people who have never picked up the old square controllers of an NES or the Super Nintendo, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for this to come out." I used to play Castlevania 4 all the fucking time. Like, no, you fucking didn't. Like, no, you didn't. Oh my god, I played Star Fox 2.
And
No,
I
you
do
fucking
believe
didn't because it didn't come out.
Castlevania 4 was not on the NES, if I remember.
It was on
Oh,
Super. It was on
that
Super.
was
It was on the
Super-
exactly.
Yeah.
But then there are people who are like, oh my god, I can't wait to play Star Fox 2 again. You never played Star Fox 2. Star Fox 2 wasn't
Never
even fucking
released in the United
released.
States.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Star Fox came out for N64, so...
Yeah.
Exactly. So like these these consoles, like anybody who's like rushing out to get one of these, like my buddy that I've got the bet with, he's like 2 of them. He's got his classic NES, and he's got like 50 games for it. He still went and bought the digital one just so he'd have it again. But it's people like that who are the real fans that still have the old ones at home.
I have one.
You know that they beat the crap out of through their childhood. Like those are the real fans. People are like, why is the controller square? Like, it doesn't.
Oh my god, can we get like an ergonomic controller for this? Like something like
Yeah,
an
no
Xbox
kid-
One
God.
controller? It'd be like so much better.
Where are the
I
triggers?
watched It's funny you speak on that because I watched the video a long time
No
ago
cheat
from the
codes,
Fine
bitches.
Brothers React channel. From the Fine
Yes.
Brothers React channel when they showed the kids the original NES.
Oh.
And they were trying to figure out how to even play it and all that shit. I think they made them play like the first 2 levels of Super Mario Brothers.
Yes. Mario 85.
And they're picking on how basic and infantile the system looks, you know, and stuff of that nature. And of course the infamous blowing on it to make it work and shit like that.
And it says right on the cartridge, do not blow into.
Yeah,
know,
use
right on the
compressed
cartridge.
air
We totally
only.
ignored that shit.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking to myself, it's like, you spoiled ass little brats.
Yep.
You don't understand. Like, your system blows up. Your $300-$400 Xbox gets the red ring of death, like the 360 back in the day. You got to
Oh my
go buy a new system, or you got to spend almost as much as the system was to get the motherboard repaired. I remember when my Nintendo acted up, I got pissed off, unplugged it, took it outside, threw it against a tree, put a giant fucking thing, plugged it back in. It worked.
Here's the funny part. You're saying about that too. I have an original Nintendo, and I've had it for a long time now. And at one point, the connector started going bad in it. Where the cartridge plugs into.
The prong.
I rebuilt. Yeah, I rebuilt. I put a new connector in it, put new springs in it, because I had to jam a game on top of it forever. So when I put it in, I slid another game on top of it to hold it in place.
Oh, nice.
So what I ended up doing when I had it apart, and you know how much it cost me to repair that? And that was like brand new again. It cost me probably under, like, I think it was like $40 for the connector bus and for the spring kit for it. And
The struggle was real.
Yeah, and it's
The struggle
brand new.
was definitely
And guess
real.
what? That system. Okay, I have an original Atari, which is dating back to what, 1977, 1978.
Wow.
I have an original wood grain
That's the
Atari.
struggle right there. Wood
I
panel
have-
2600.
I have a wood panel
Atari's coming out with a new
2600.
console.
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard.
Why?
I have the Atari.
Yes.
This is what's hooked up right now in my house. I have that. I have a Genesis 3, the 3rd gen Genesis, because I got it for $5 at a flea market. I couldn't say no. I've got, I have a ton of consoles. I mean, right up to I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One, but this is where I'm getting at with this. I will bet any amount of money that my Atari 2600, which is by far the oldest piece of equipment I have, game-wise, will outlive both that PS4, which is only, that PS4 is only 2 weeks old. Okay? The one I have right now, because the first one crapped out on me already. So,
Well, that's
2
what
weeks
you're talking about right
versus,
there.
what, 40 years old? A 40-year-old console? I bet you that 40-year-old console will outlive that PS4.
Yeah,
And
they were
that's
made.
the-
They were made to last, man.
Well, it's a
That's just the-
Japanese built one, too.
That's just the thing. Talking about all these old consoles and systems, the cheat codes were shitty.
Yeah.
The freaking
Up,
you had
down, down, left, right, select, start.
exactly the Contra Classic. We had, if you didn't have Nintendo Power, you didn't have shit. You had
no
Apple.
power.
Oh, let's not forget
Yeah.
the Game Genie. Let's not forget the
Sorry,
Game Genies.
We were just talking about posers. How many of y'all have seen the freaking T-shirts walking around with the up, down, left, right, A-B start?
Oh, you don't even know what the fuck that
Fuck
shit
that
is.
shit.
Exactly.
You had to do. Oh God, we lived for that code. We could have had that tattoo. That could have been everyone's first tattoo in this panel. Seriously.
The reality
So
is,
bad.
Matt, the reality is most of us could probably get like freaking Alzheimer's in like 40 years, and that's the only thing we remember because it's burned into our brains.
That's the only thing we'll sit there and do. Up, down, left, right. Yeah, up, down, left, right,
Even with
start.
that code to give me 99 lives, even with that code to give me 99 lives, I still have not beaten the original fucking Contra. That game is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck that. I'll tell you right now. I actually did beat it once. You gotta work it. Nope. You gotta work it. I think we almost melted out the system playing that bit, trying to beat that game.
No, I've got a story about Contra for you. Okay.
God.
I was playing, and you know how the original Nintendo had no save feature whatsoever.
Yeah.
The only way you could save your progress is pause it and leave it on. Go to
away.
school, come back. So I come home and I'm almost done the game. I'm on like not the final level, but the one before the final level. And my mom unplugged my fucking NES, and she's like, "Oh, I had to move it to clean it." I was like, I think I was like traumatized from it. It was just like, you realize how long it took me to get there, how many times I died, and you shut my console off. You shouldn't
I'm-
leave it on. Like,
I'm
Really?
traumatized for you. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
These kids don't understand. The original NES, the only games that had save features were the ones that had watch batteries in them.
Yeah.
Like the Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior.
Zelda.
I remember we're talking about old school tricks of the trade. I remember having the original Final Fantasy, and when you would go to buy like your potions and stuff of that, like your cures and your antidotes and shit like that, in that game you had to hit the A button over and over. You could only buy one at a time.
Yeah.
One at a time. I remember the cheat I did is I went out and I bought the NES Advantage, the
I have
joystick
that. I have that one.
Yeah.
with the turbo button on it.
Yeah, the switch. There's a switch for the turbo button.
I would turn on the turbo button. I would put a heavy textbook on the A button and walk away.
Oh my. See,
Yeah, it had
that's-
the adjustable
we had
rate turbo on it where you had the little dial up top that has a switch, because I have one still. I actually have the NES Advantage. What I'm looking for is the Max. I want the NES Max. The little
my cousin
controller they
Brandon
had
that.
the separate turbo button. It didn't have the switch. Because I
you
used to
guys-
own it Mario 3 with that thing.
I don't remember. Oh crap! I'm gonna get lynched because I don't remember if it was on the original Nintendo, which I think it was, the Top Gun game.
That was
Yeah.
original Nintendo. I
Okay.
have it.
Remember trying to land that motherfucking thing on that carrier?
Ever.
Perfect.
Fuck! That's
Perfect.
why I've got gray hair at 28.
What, landing an airplane on Top Gun?
Yeah.
Yes. You
Oh
never
my
could do it. No matter how hard you
I did it.
try.
I know. I have the game still. I actually have it.
Yeah, I did it, but it really was one of those games where it's like you had to be perfect.
That's like
If you
Wing
didn't have it
Commander,
lined up
though.
perfectly, you either overshot or you hit it in the ass. I mean,
Wing Commander was the same way. Remember having to land on the Concordia on the first Wing Commander?
Commander, yay!
And you're like, okay, you're lining up, and you're a little too high, and you smack right into the dock. You're like, shit.
That's when it started making the fucking space bases turn.
Yeah.
In Wing Commander 2, where the bay would turn and you had to turn with it to line in right. Oh,
You scrape right into it every time. Bang! There goes the wing. Oops. No, that's just a scratch. It's okay.
Any landing you can walk away from, right?
not even. No, that's the thing that sucks. Successful mission, not even a scratch on the paint. You crash and burn
Every
landing your
time.
freaking plane. While you're at the
Every
funeral. He was so brave and he died so soon. Fuck you!
What happened to auto landing?
His headstone would simply read, "Almost doesn't count."
Oh, damn, that hurts.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Oh yeah.
And I'm out of horseshoes. Anyway, I don't know.
Anyway.
It sounded better in my head. I'm sorry.
So, anyways, so let's ask this question now. So, out of all this propagation of our culture, once again, what would you, Chris? I'm gonna start with you. What do you think the positives are at this point with us being the veterans of the geek culture? Even if other people want to claim they are, what do you think the positives are for us, if there are any?
There's plenty. We have the Flash and the Arrow and Gotham and Legends of Tomorrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil and well, not Iron Fist, but the rest of
Jessica
them.
Jones.
Jessica Jones, Luke Cage.
We have an unlimited amount of Star Wars movies, even though they're completely screwing up Han Solo right now.
That's just one.
I know.
You never know. They might pull it out of they might pull it out of their ass. You don't know.
They might.
We got Rebirth series of comic books, and we've got there's nerd stuff everywhere, and that the fact that we don't have to hide it. Like when I was in high school, man, I couldn't let people know I played D&D. I couldn't let people know I read Spider-Man comic books because I'd get swirlies and shit. Like I already gotten enough fights because of my mouth. I didn't need to get into it just because I liked reading. You know what I mean? I did. So the benefit to me is that there's more for me to intake and enjoy, and I could do it openly and publicly with people who share it. The same passions as I do.
It's just I will say my biggest issue is more than anything else saying about that. Like, I love the fact that everything's being rebirthed, and we have so much more, so much higher quality stuff now because of it. Just please, this is a plea from all of us. Please stop being posers. Please stop acting like you've loved something that you haven't your entire life, especially when you were that person. It's like me in high school, I was bullied severely. I had my head shoved in a toilet. I had a black eye at one point. I got suspended for it, even though I didn't even fight back. Like, the guy walked up, punched me in the face, and I was knocked out. I got suspended for it. But anyway, I was brutally harassed in high school. When I met, one thing I will tell you, Chris and I have a long history. I met him when I was about 18 years old. So we're looking at 22 years, 28 years, 22 years now I'm knowing you.
22. Let's not make it any older than it already is.
So yeah, so roughly 22 years I've known him.
I just found out how old Christina is.
No, you haven't.
I actually do.
I've been trying to do that for months. All right.
It's on my Facebook page in case you haven't noticed.
I haven't.
Just ask me.
My birth year is on my Facebook page, so.
I don't look at people's about sections. That's kind of creepy.
Anyway.
I'm just saying.
I'll IMDb every actor under the planet and know what they have for breakfast. I'm not looking at your Boundpage.
I heard Harrison Ford wiped his ass sideways yesterday, but I had a little birdie tell me, but I'm not going to look at your About page in your publicly published information to find out when your birthday is.
Harrison Ford goes front to back, not back to front. So
that's why they call him Blade Runner.
Anyway, as I was saying before that, yeah, when we first met, we were both in hiding when we met. We were musicians, yes, but neither of us believed we were geeks. I think the first time was when we were hanging out at your apartment over at Ryan Manor.
Yeah.
And we started playing we started hanging out, started talking about stuff we liked. Like, we barely knew each other. We started talking about stuff and realized, like, oh, wow, we're both geeks. Then I remember the damn game you had, that freaking Aliens game that was more complicated than it freaking needed to be.
Oh, the Alien Trilogy first-person shooter?
No, the board game. The board game with the card.
Oh, yeah.
The aliens. And we had all these scenarios, like the Frost scenario and stuff like that.
Wow.
Like, we had he seriously rewrote the original rules of this game to make it even more complicated, because he had like all these scenarios, like how they died in the movie. If that person got taken out, the same scenario happened in the game. So you had to know your shit when it came to aliens to play this game with him. I mean, we spent countless hours over his house playing PlayStation, playing Saturn.
Wow.
The Sega Saturn, the Dreamcast, the Sega CD.
Yeah, like, seriously, like, we used to sit over there
at the time, man. I got all the old shit. I remember the day I came home with an Atari Jaguar.
I still have one. I still have one in plastic, never been opened.
It might be worth something.
$1,000 last time I checked. Well, actually, that's what was offered to me by Game Zombie in Bristol. I'll give you $1,000 for if you bring it to me tomorrow. I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold on to it.
I would.
So yeah, I mean, I have a hell of a collection. This is not all with me. A lot of it's in storage in Philly still. So, but I'm not saying where.
We had this was the nerd culture back in my old apartment days. We would do band practices or mock band practices, where we would get drunk, we would work on songs, whatever else, in my living room. Me, Christina, and another guy, friend of ours, Chris Warburton, or Chris
Mayer,
who unfortunately nobody knows what's happened to Mayer since. But we would get into that, and we would literally drinking, being the cool kids in high school, whatever else, and like come 9 o'clock, we had to stop because South Park was coming on, and then after South Park, we'd get lost in passing the controller around for Resident Evil 2, and that was the rest of the night. Drunk.
I'm going to let you have a moment of glory and relive those old days. I want you to sing the Resident Evil song we wrote back in the day.
My God. Die, Wesker, die. The zombie's
Something's gonna eat ya.
Little gun ain't gonna protect you.
Yes, no, we weren't geeks growing up or anything.
I was gonna say you better sing it. I did a Yoda voice for you guys on my Q&A. You better sing that song.
I was just a bass player.
Bread. Oh my god.
Damn it,
But
the
yeah.
ceiling fan keeps blowing me out.
But yeah, I mean, like that was our life back then. We went to see concerts, we played music, we pretended to play music most of the time, but sometimes we did actually play music. Sometimes we even played in front of people too. But other than that, we played. We hung out, we played PlayStation, got free game guides from EB Games. That's back when it was EB Games before GameStop. For all y'all don't know, there was a time before the darkness. Before the dark times, before the GameStop.
Here's one for you. Hollywood Video.
Oh,
Blockbuster video.
Wow.
We're like lackluster.
No. I got y'all. Errol's video store. Philly boys knows that one.
I got one for you.
Even
Which
I know
only
about
beat that one. Funkoland.
I worked for Funkoland, and then I left Funkoland to work for EB Games, and then Funkoland
EB Games
bought
bought out. No, EB Games bought out Funkoland because that's why.
That's right.
That's why there's two. That's why there's two now GameStops right across the street from each other.
Yep.
No, I love it. I loved it when I lived down that way too, because they would go, "Oh, we don't have it, but the Cotman Bustleton Center has it. Do you want us to have it shipped over to you?" I'm like, "No, I'll just walk over there and get it." Like it was like a literal less than a 5-minute walk from the one GameStop to the other GameStop, and they were like, "Oh, we can have it shipped over here." I'm like, "I'll just walk over there and get it. It's not a big deal."
Just be like
I'm not even gonna get in my car and drive. I'm just gonna walk.
Hey guys, could you toss it over? Thanks. Yeah, exactly. Did you ring this out for me?
Like hell, I remember.
GameStops are still there.
Like here's something for because
We're
most
still
of us are in our 30s, except for Mario at least.
Aw.
I know Mario's young, and so Mario may not know this, but who remembers how Radio Shack used to be?
Oh, Radio Shack used to be the shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. You used to go
Like
in there.
any
You could
crap.
build anything from Radio Shack. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just wall of freaking all kinds of electronic, really cool stuff. You won't find anything else. In fact, I have a relic from Radio Shack days.
Oh.
I know she's gonna get it. Yep, there it is.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Robbie,
God.
The Robbie the Robot Bank with the Radio Shack stamp still on top.
Oh, wow.
I found this guy. I had one years ago and I lost it. I found this guy at a flea market for $3. He works.
That looks like my sister.
He works, but however, the only problem is why it doesn't have batteries in it is because his spring's worn out. So so it always runs.
Brian, understand. Robbie the Robot's the original Furby.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
But this
man.
but back in the 80s and 90s, this was the bomb from Radio Shack, the Robbies. Does it have a date on it actually? No.
Yeah.
Like come on, Radio Shack catalog. Like even the decal on the bottom, you can tell it's old.
Yeah.
The old school
Guys,
Radio
I'm gonna have to
Shack
show you
logo.
guys at some point. If I can find a picture of my sister and show it to you guys, have her hold that up when I find it, and they seriously look a lot alike. They really. I'm not joking. Like, they
What,
do.
your sister?
That's so
Buck
messed
teeth
up.
and all.
Does it eat pennies and lick its lips afterwards?
Plain, featureless face. That's it.
Damn. Oh,
Wow. All right, that
And-
just
and
got
About
that
the same
latest-
shape too. About the same shape too.
damn, barrel. Anyway,
Yeah.
All right.
But you know what? The one person I want to hear from, I mean, we're kind of doing the older people and stuff like
Yeah.
that. One person that's been sitting there kind of quiet is Mario.
Yeah.
Being the younger generation, how does it make you feel? Kristen, if you don't mind me asking this question, how does it really make you feel hearing these stories about the culture before your time and what we had to deal with and the types of things that we did to have our culture but had to hide it where it's more socially acceptable today?
It's kind of scary hearing about it. Like, I mean, I've seen it like in movies as well. Like this stuff happening that you guys are talking about, and it's frightening. Because now I'm just I'm so open about what I like and what I what I watch on TV. And it was like every day there's something I could watch. It's everywhere now. It's literally everywhere. And to think the fact that there was a time where you would have to hide, your love for this stuff. It seems really, I don't know. It just seems like it would be it's hard. Like, you would suffer a lot from, really being yourself because you were afraid to get made fun of, That sounds scary. Especially, and now with the fact it's okay if you're, if you like that stuff now. Mm-hmm. So it's a really different, perspective, and it makes me more appreciative of what the time that is now.
Well, Murray, you do movie reviews, so actually I have a movie to propose to you to review, which goes with this episode very well. Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds was made... Yeah, it's, was it 84, I believe it came out?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
early 80s.
It's really early 80s, but I definitely
IMDb to
recommend that
rescue.
you do a review of it, because it's... I'm sure you... I'm not sure if you've seen it or not ever.
I have, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you know the premise of it then. And that, actually, even though, yeah, granted, it was definitely doctored up for, a movie, but in a lot of ways, that's what we dealt with. We dealt with being ostracized. We dealt with getting beat up and getting bullied and made fun of because we were different. We were, because we would rather go spend our money on a Superman comic or go buy a new video game than go out and go get high or go out and do this or, go out to the football game. Like, we would rather sit home and, try to beat this level of Final Fantasy VII or beat this, or try to get the high score in Asteroids. That was our lives, and we were looked at, and we were like, we might as well have been lepers back in the day. Am I right, guys?
You're
Absolutely.
completely
And
right.
Revenge of the
I
Nerds was
kind of at the
1984.
end of that.
I was
It was
right then.
It was 1984.
So, Christen,
I gotta-
Kristen's been pretty quiet, too. So, do you have anything you would like? Would you like to make some comments?
Well, I mean, I think part of the reason we're now seeing this surge in geek culture and everything is that the people that got picked on for liking that stuff, they're now the ones in charge of that, too. They're the ones that went on to Hollywood and are writing the books and everything, and they got made fun of. And now they're the successful ones, and they're the people that everyone looks up to. So, and I was kind of on the edge of when the really big bullying was happening, but it really was this just drought all the time. There was hardly ever anything fantasy, hardly ever anything new with sci-fi, and then when it was really badly done. Just really badly done.
It's really sad because you think about it. Back in the day, you remember this. Walking into a comic book store, which was in abundance back in the day. There were comic book stores everywhere, as opposed to nowadays. You got like 3 in like a 20-mile radius.
I think there's 3 in Wichita right now. Yeah.
But back in the day, there was like one on every street corner. But you had to walk into it like a pervert walking into a porn store. Like with the trench coat, with the, I mean,
yeah.
horrible.
And you got that
because
brown
you want
paper bag
people to
saved
see
your
you.
life.
Yeah, and I got a question to pose to everybody here. Name 2 things from the old school geek culture days that you would like to have come back. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I will name 2 right off the bat. I want arcades returned, like Champions, and I want Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, see, that's not fair. You just took the best.
Yeah.
That's why he jumped on it first.
You
Yeah.
dick. Sorry,
All right,
man.
Matt, what's your answer to that question?
Yeah, I left it very broad too. So if you want to play off of what I stated, give us.
Okay. Saturday morning cartoons. We all miss those because what they have now is it's gone. I'm sorry, but I used to get up, watch watching X-Men the animated series. We used to sit there and hum the song before it used to come on. Actually,
Ringtone waiting to happen. Just
exactly.
Going,
Oh yeah. All right. What do I miss the most? Actually, I would like to see more comic book stores, just to make it a little more easily available for the rest of us. 1 and 2. I don't know. Just a little more acknowledgement for for the ones who actually did survive this, because it was survival for us. It was. I mean, Mario, thank you for, you said it was scary, and you're right. It was survival. Chris, you got beat up. Christina, you got beat up. Hell, I got jumped I don't know how many times just because somebody overheard my conversation about X-Men or freaking Fantastic Four. Like, oh, you're queer, you're such a fag, blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, dude, get off my freaking nuts. What the hell's your problem? Next thing you know, fists are flying. And I got me and my crew in a throwdown in the middle of the lunchroom. Just because, I wanted to be myself.
Oh yeah.
But what I would like to see, just a little acknowledgement for us older ones, and more comic book shops. Let us have our moments. We've earned it. We've got those badges, and those bruises,
The scars, everything else. All right, Christen, your turn.
This is a little different, and I love the new stuff that's coming out. I do wish we would see more of, like, backing off the CGI a little bit and replacing it with some more of the older
Practical.
techniques, not the really bad ones, but there does come a point where you lose life in something because it's all computer and it just doesn't have that, real feeling.
texture.
Yeah,
Texture.
that movement, that life and everything. The second one, oh geez, I don't know. I also grew up out in the middle of the country, so a lot of the stuff you guys got to do, I didn't get to do. Because, like, in the middle of the country, on a farm, with goats. God, I don't know what the other one would be. The Saturday morning cartoons would be awesome.
Well, what specific comic Saturday morning cartoon would you want to have return if you could choose one? Let's put together a lineup for ABC. Let's give a Saturday morning ABC lineup. What would you choose out of the old school cartoons to return?
To return or be remade,
old school
because that's a
cartoons,
different thing.
Return.
Both.
It was so,
Both, but
No,
if they
'cause they
remake
remake
it,
them, they
remake it in the spirit of the original, not what they did with like a lot of their reboots. Like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I know Christina's into it, but that My Little Pony
I could think of a lot worse one. How about Thundercats?
I like My Little Ponies
Yeah,
too.
Thundercats.
So.
Thundercats,
How about
there's a
Silverhawks?
perfect set.
Everything after Beast Wars for Transformers.
Oh my god, dude, Beast Wars was awesome. Beast
Like
Wars was
okay.
awesome. Beast
I really liked the old Spider-Man
sucked.
cartoon.
What about like I
Oh,
was
the
talking
60 Spider-Man?
Yeah, I liked the old Spider-Man cartoon. I loved it.
No.
about Spider-Man and Amazing Friends?
What?
Original
Spider-Man and Amazing-
Spider-Man does
Yeah,
whatever.
that one.
Okay,
Yeah, I
first-
loved that one.
First run one.
Yeah.
Actually, if I want to go with Saturday morning cartoons, 2. Can I have 2? Thunder the Barbarian.
Joe, it was my question, but it's Christina's show. Ask her.
No, because no one else is getting to, and you might take somebody else's.
Okay. Thunder the Barbarian. Ookla, Ariel, we
He
ride.
did it.
What about
He
you,
did it
What
anyway.
about you, Mario?
For the cartoon,
Yeah.
I would go Justice League, the cartoon.
It's coming back.
That's what I heard.
All right,
That
Brian.
Justice League action stuff. Dude, you brought up Beast Wars, man. That was the shit when I was a kid. Like, I mean, I had Rat Trap and Cheetor. I really did. Like, those things. Holy crap, dude! Like, I've got all 3 seasons on DVD. Like,
Yeah.
I love Beast Wars. Beast Machines, when they went back to Cybertron, was complete and utter shit. But like, Beast Wars was awesome.
The last hurrah.
I'm kind of like tore up between a couple of them, but I'm gonna have to go with just one. Probably be Gem.
Oh my
And the
god, I
hologram?
remember Jim.
Original Gem and the holograms.
Wow.
I didn't actually like it, and a friend used to make me play Jim, and it made me so mad because I was like, "Why would I do this? We could be playing like Ninja Turtles right now."
I'll tell you what. I'll throw mine out there, and this will make Matt happy. Bring back Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Yes.
Another. That's what I said. A couple. There've been that. It was Dungeons and Dragons was another one.
He-Man.
Original He-Man.
Masters of the Universe.
She-Ra.
Shira, yeah.
All on
And
Netflix.
Silverhawk.
I used to love a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool.
All right, so let's get
It's
back
just
to
like
the
the Gump
previous
Bears.
question now. We got sidetracked. So, Christen, what would you bring back? It has nothing to do
Well-
with affecting anything now. Like, what would you bring back from your childhood to, like...
From
like
my childhood.
Yeah.
Like definitely the old Spider-Man for sure, and like I said, some of the more practical things in movies. You know, some of the more
Okay, yeah, the
practical effects. I
puppeteer.
would bring that back.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, definitely like places like roller skating rinks that had the video games and everything. I would want
Yes.
like more of those because I love rollerblading.
All right.
Put the arcade games back in the Pizza Huts.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Mario,
Yes.
what about you?
I have 2. So the first one is being better comic storylines, actually. To me, in the recent years, the comic books don't have any really good grasping comic book lines like they were in the 80s and 70s and before that, with the Secret Wars and all. It just seems to me like they're just repeating the same formula, a second Civil War, a second Secret Wars. It just seems like they don't have anything new.
Yeah.
Actually, it'd be the
And they're
third
just constantly
Secret Wars.
rebooting. Oh, really? Yeah, the third. And then the second thing would be just the bring back of physical media. Like, I prefer actual books, actual comic books, actual, CDs and actual Blu-ray discs. I don't like all this digital stuff. I
I'm
get
the
the
same
appeal
way.
behind it, but
Yeah,
I
I think
prefer
we
the
all
physical media. Yeah, that's my thing.
Well, I'm way behind the book part.
All right, Brian, what about you?
Okay, having to get up and physically go change the TV to channel 3 to play my Nintendo. And
You can make that happen.
And
Laser discs. Wow.
Laserdisc. Remember that? I've got the entire original Star Wars trilogy, theatrical versions, on Laserdisc.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you
I
have
used
not
to
converted
actually-
to digital disc yet?
I don't even have a Laserdisc player. Like, I'm trying. They still sell them for like $200. I'm trying to get one so that I can show Kirsty the original theatrical versions because she's never seen them.
That's
You
awesome.
ever get one, you
Wow.
make sure you record those theatrical releases and you
Okay.
you sling them along to everybody.
Those
I've
you
got
could-
them. I've got them on VHS also. I got the
But
classics
the
on
VHS, but
I-
the Laserdisc at higher resolution, you could probably
Oh,
pull
yeah.
a better resolution
and it was
off of them.
and it was the thing where it was 2 discs the size of hubcaps. Like, there were 2 DVDs the size of hubcaps, and
Yeah.
you had to put the disc in, watch 1/4 of the movie, take the disc out, flip it over, put it back in, watch the next quarter of the movie, and then pull that one out, put the next disc in, and then flip it over and put it back in. Like, that was the way to go.
You remember
I mean,
the
the
games
show-
they used to have on
Awesome.
Laserdisc that would play into like Space Ace? Like they
Oh,
had
yeah.
games for Laserdisc as well.
Yep.
They had it for VHS too. I had the system. Remember we talked about it before, the Action Max,
Oh
where you
god.
popped in a VHS tape and you used a light gun like the Nintendo light gun, and you shot at like fucking planes and shit. Like a target would come up and you had to time your shot to when the target turned red. Like
Nice.
Wow.
All right, so I guess it's my turn now. 2 things I would bring back. I would bring back games with actual that have infinite levels, like the old Atari, like some of the old Atari games did, where I had close to infinite because they would bug out after they got so high. But like the infinite level challenge game, where
Viper
just
High
each
School.
level got harder and harder, and you're pretty much fighting for that top score instead of like, oh look, I beat the game. No, there is no beating this game. That's one of the things I would love to see come back. And I would love to see. Yeah, once again, I would love to see certain stores come back, like the original comic book stores come back in the way the way they used to be. And I would also love to see Radio Shack come back to the way it used to be. Where you
Yeah.
can walk in and goes, I need a 100K pot. I need a 100K pot. I need a pack of 1K resistors, 0.5 resistors. I need that Motorola chip, and I need a couple breadboards. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. They don't even ask you they don't even ask you what the hell you were building. You could be building God knows what, but they didn't care. Like, you could build anything out of Radio Shack, and that was the reality of it. Like, that was how awesome Radio Shack was. It wasn't a cell phone store like it is now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like you walk into Best Buy now and you're like, yeah, I need 2 16-gig RAM cards. And you're like, what is it going in? Like, why? Like, you're about to make $180 off me. Why does it fucking matter? Like,
It's like
Yeah.
everyone
that's the thing. Like, if to play off of Christina's thing about like stores, I would love to see the return of competitional stores, because it made for lower prices instead of just like Toys R Us monopolizing everything. Bring back KB and Kitty City.
Oh yeah.
Okay, man.
Instead of GameStop, you had Funko Land and you had EB Games, and they made each other have to lower their prices to compete for your business.
Exactly.
You know?
And also,
And they had
let's
to have like real variety, because if they didn't have it, you'd go somewhere else.
I want to
Yeah.
see, and also let's not forget also the electronic stores like Silo and Circuit City.
holy crap.
Best.
Yeah.
wow.
I remember when I first moved to this country in '88. So I remember my parents bought the first TV. It was a 20-inch console TV. So pretty much it was a TV shoved in a wooden box.
Yeah.
Made it
Yeah.
look real pretty. And they bought this thing from Silo. It was a floor model and had a couple scratches on it, so they got this thing cheap. And I remember seeing this thing, and I was just like, wow, it's huge. It was a 20-inch TV. I'm like, this TV is massive. We're rich. We must be rich.
That's what my computer monitor is right now. It's 20-inch.
Oh, my computer monitors are both 23 inches a piece. So, yeah, I can relate. But it was like, wow. I mean, my TV in here is 39. I have a 39-inch TV in here, and I have a 32-inch in my bedroom. Yeah, I was happy as hell when I had a 19-inch Zenith tube TV. I was like,
Yep.
yeah. I could, and it's funny, too, because now you go back and watch those TVs. It's like, ew. Like, the resolution is so horrible. It's like,
Oh
you
my
can
God,
see the
today-
boxes.
You mentioned that earlier today while I was at work. I have a habit of I have YouTube Red and on my personal channel. So I have a habit of downloading. I have a habit of downloading stuff to watch. I found an old couple episodes of the '78 Battlestar Galactica, and I'm sitting there watching them, and I'm laughing my ass off because they're having like ship-to-ship communications on like tube television.
I mean, look at the tech in a lot of those things. But you know something? I think it's about time to wrap this up for the night. So I'd like to thank my panel for coming by tonight and talking with me. So let's do this as we do on every other show. Chris, where can they find you?
Pretty much on realmofthemist.com. I'm on Breaking the Fourth Wall. I make appearances on pretty much all the other shows. I DJ on Monday nights for Raise the Underground on radiocastfm.com. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter. Find me on Twitch. Find me on everything. Just look me up. You'll find me somewhere.
All right, Mario, because I know you said your laptop's dying. Where can they find you?
You can find me on War of the Stars this coming week. You can find me on Realm of the Mist. I'm hoping to appear on Breaking the Fourth Wall next week, if all goes well with Chris. And by my personal
he can
channel,
blame you now if it doesn't happen.
Uh-oh.
Find my personal channel at Sith Lord 310 and Instagram, Twitter, same name.
All right, Brian, how about you?
You guys can find me also on War of the Stars, Breaking the Fourth Wall, and the Star Wars Canon Library. Make sure to check out www.starwarscanonlibrary.com.
All right. Matt, how about you?
Thank you, Peanut. I'm sorry I had to put that out. You can find me here on Realm of the Mist Entertainment. You can find me on Breaking the Fourth Wall as a co-host, or you can catch me on my own show, Gaming XP. It should be out next week. You can find me on Facebook. Huh?
This week, Saturday.
Oh my goodness! I don't even. Thank you, overtime. Oh goodness gracious me. Anyway, where was I? Oh, you can find me on Facebook, Matthew Cruz, 2 T's, or you can find me on Foxy77 at gmail.com. Like I said, comment me, like me, hate me, I don't care. Just hey, say what's up.
And Christen.
You can find me on Realm of the Mist on Breaking the Fourth Wall. Occasionally, I am on America's Pop Culture Magazine on Radiocast FM. You can find me on Facebook under Christen Stovall and on my books fan page, Song of Souls Trilogy. You can find me on Goodreads as Christen Stovall. You can find me on Twitter, and you can also find me on Star Wars: The Old Republic on the Ebon Hawk server under Inari soon.
And I will be moving to the Ebon Hawk server by the end of the weekend, so
Yay!
that will be happening.
Join our guild. Sith happens.
Press 8
There we
Gaming.
go. And we also have a new channel coming out, Press 8 Gaming, that so far it is Chris and myself playing it. I'm doing a playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I believe Chris is doing New Vegas, correct?
Fallout New Vegas,
Fallout New
Ultimate
Vegas.
Edition.
So there we go. We got a lot of fun stuff happening. There will be links in the comments for the associated pages involved with this podcast this week, as well for the Facebook groups, Facebook pages, and the YouTube channels. I'm not putting anyone's personal stuff out there, so there will be
I don't
there.
care.
So
They can
definitely check. So definitely
Just leave
check
out
it
my
out.
Just leave out my YouPorn channel, okay?
So everyone does anyway.
If you need a good laugh. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you need a good laugh, there you go.
I don't want to watch no midget porn.
So that's all the time we have for tonight. And
Wow.
right there we fall
You thought
apart.
Yoda was bouncing on his legs.
Oh, God.
By the way, yes, like I said, it's like herding cats in here, okay? And this is what we deal with every time we record any of these shows. But like I said, I'm Christina Talley. I'm that trans girl. You can also find me on War of the Stars and Breaking the Fourth Wall, as well as Press A Gaming. So until next week, you all have a good one.
Later.
Bye.
Good night.
Say bye.
Good night.
Wow.